So look, where the Melbourne market really is at, this is just a breakdown of my last property clock episode. Mind you, this has moved slightly, so take this how you want, but you can see clearly the fundamentally strong areas, the inner west, inner city, inner east, southeast, eastern suburbs, all really kind of broken the 6 o'clock mark. They're all definitely on the upturn now. Bayside and inner north are probably closer to 6. That's where they kind of are now. Look, what's kind of happened is, how I get this is, you have something called basically the candle approach. So it's when it's a stock and kind of like precious metals, commodities kind of analysis tool. So it's when you get the candle going down being larger than the candle going up, that the market's probably is due for a little bit of correction. When you get the market going up more than going down, and this is kind of done in real estate, it's a daily, weekly basis. What you have is the market clearly going up anyway. But when you have it going down and it starts to level out, that's when the market's generally stabilizing. And when it starts to turn, it slightly starts to pick up on the upturn trend of the candles. So I saw this happening, and I was telling everyone about this late last year and early this year, and that was the very bottom of the market. And for those that, there's clients of mine that have literally bought that have made $200,000 in like literally it's like 6 to 9 months time. I kid you not. So really, this is where the market's kind of at. Now, you're not going to get the same deal as you would have 6 to 9 months ago. Don't get me wrong. It's not the same then, but you're still picking it up very much so at the bottom of at close to the bottom of the market. So it's an excellent time to buy in Melbourne. I don't think you can pick much of it. You could have picked a slightly better time, but still a very, very good time to buy. Look, characteristics of this cycle are a few things. So there's a fight for quite a few things. So first of all, it's a high quality location. Now, in Melbourne, obviously every city's got its problems, but there's some with much more than others. High quality locations generally are close to village centres. They're also not only that too, but they're close to jobs. They're generally in areas that are very livable, close to lifestyle areas too. So that's the characteristics of a high quality location, and they generally have good demographics in the area and low crime because of the location they're in. It's generally a few pockets that are making these numbers look cooked. But anyway, proximity to high paying jobs. So look, people, don't get me wrong, there is the hybrid work. Definitely there's a hybrid work sort of scheme and sort of policies going on at the moment. But realistically, a lot of people are being asked to come back to office. Most people will work 2 or 3 days, even in a hybrid scheme, to go to the office. So people still don't like traveling 2 hours each way to get to work. If that number is under half an hour, idealistically, that's pretty good for a major capital city, and most people are pretty happy with that. So that's what I mean by that. Underpriced spillover suburbs. So I mean suburbs that are surrounded by expensive suburbs that, are cheap for what they are. Good example, Heidelberg Heights, Heidelberg West, and right next to Rosanna, Heidelberg, Ivanhoe, Belfield, all much more expensive suburbs. A lot of people in the better pockets there who can't afford it anymore are buying for their kids, or maybe just moving out there because it's still close to where they like and that kind of thing. Walkability, village centres, anything near a village centre in the right location is incredibly strong in demand. It's very, very hard to pick them up. They go for 10% above market most of the time now. So walkability is a large thing. The village centres are very popular. It's a typical thing about Melbourne. Like it's probably Australia's European city. It's a more like sort of urban kind of living. So a lot of people that like Melbourne and want to live in Melbourne long term like living near the centres, and walkability comes to that. Walkability is the basically time it takes you to get to restaurants, transport, facilities, and parks and the rest of them. Melbourne's known for being a very walkable city, the most in the country actually. So the better suburbs are walkability near the town centres. Properties near that do very well. Along that, you got obviously transport and lifestyle triangle, and I have mentioned this just previously. Lifestyle triangle, the distance it takes you to go from work to school to lifestyle locations and back home. For a major city, under half an hour is pretty good, but on locations with lower lifestyle triangles, so better livability, do help that. If it's got good transport in it as well, that really does help, because transport does play in a lifestyle triangle. So I'll give you a good example. A suburb that I like buying in the inner west of Melbourne is Newport. Newport is a key station of 3 separate train lines. So I mean, because it's a main station for 3 separate train lines, a lot of the express trains go past it. One about every 5 or 6 minutes. A very, very, should I say, busy train station, right? Now, for people who live in Newport, they can happily work in the city, and it's a very quick train trip then. It's only about 15, 20 minutes depending on what train you get, okay? So that helps your lifestyle triangle as well. So these are the things that are really starting to drive the Melbourne market up. It'll continue to be the way, because what's going on is people with money don't want to buy the everyday thing. They want to buy good quality stock in good quality locations. It's not the idiotic new estate buying that no one wants to buy with money. These people like buying these locations, so just be wary of that. That's the characteristics of this current cycle.